Hi students, this is Miss Johnson with 2.2 and 2.3 Part 2. We are really going to solve multi-step equations today. As we did the other day, we used one step, we used fractions, we're going to do multi-step with those today, and we're going to involve what's called consecutive integers. Alright, so we are going to solve problem A. We're going to solve it for A. It says A plus 7 divided by 8 equals 5. So keep in mind, we need to get the variable by itself, we need to do the opposite, and we got to do it to both sides. So the first thing we need to do here is we got to get rid of this divided by 8. So the opposite is we are going to multiply both sides by 8. And in doing so, multiplying by 8, dividing by 8, these cancel one another out, and we have A plus 7 equaling 40. And now it's just a simple one-step process. Now we've got A plus 7, we do the opposite, so subtract 7 from both sides, plus 7 minus 7 cancels out, A equals 33. Alright, moving on to the next one. We have 2/3 J minus 25 equals 115. Alright, we got to get this J by itself. Here we want to get rid of this minus 25, so we need to do the opposite, adding 25 to both sides. In doing so, minus 25 plus 25 cancels out. We're left with 2/3 J equaling 140. 2/3 times J. To get rid of it, we need to divide by 2/3. But instead of dividing by 2/3, we want to multiply by the reciprocal. And the reciprocal is 3/2. Do that on both sides, multiplying by 3/2. 3 times 2 is 6, 2 times 3 is 6. These cancel one another out, and on the left-hand side, we're left with just J. On the right-hand side, this 140 is a whole number. It's always over 1. So we can do 140 times 3. 140 times 3 is 420. On the denominators, 1 times 2 is 2. So then J equals 420 divided by 2. And when we divide that, J equals 210. Excellent. There's our multi-step problems. Alright, we are also then going to work with problems that are involving consecutive integers. And consecutive means in a row, and integers are numbers, positive or negative. So consecutive integers are integers in counting order, like 3, 4, 5. Okay? But most of the time, we don't have these, we don't know what the numbers are. So the first one we would say is n. So to get the next number, we'd have to do n plus 1, and then the next number would have to be n plus 2 to make sure they're in order. Alright. In addition, some of the problems they like to give us ask for consecutive odd integers or consecutive even integers. Again, we don't know the number, so the first one would be n. And if they're going to be even numbers or odd numbers, that means it has to go up 2 numbers to get to the next even or odd number. So we've got n plus 2 would be the next one, and then n plus 4 would be the one after that. Alright, example 3. We need to find 3 consecutive integers with a sum of 21. So in order to do this, 3 consecutive integers, our first number is n, when we need to have 3 of them. So the second number is going to be n plus 1, and the third number is n plus 2. And they say that we need to have a sum, and sum means to add. So we're going to add n plus 1 plus n plus 2, and they need to equal 21. Alright, well on the left-hand side we can do some simplifying. We can add all these n's together. N plus n gives us 3n. Then add the 1 plus 2, and we get 3. So now we have 3n plus 3 equals 21. And now we can go ahead and solve it. Subtract 3 from both sides. plus 3 minus 3 cancels out, so 3n equals 18. And then we want to get the n by itself. Instead of multiplying by 3, we're going to divide by 3, so n equals 6. But don't make the mistake of stopping here, because it says find 3 consecutive integers. That means you need to have 3 answers. That means our first number is n, but our next number needs to be n plus 1, which would be 6 plus 1, so that would be 7. And then the next number would be n plus 2, so 6 plus 2, which is 8. So our answer needs to be not just 6, but 6, 7, and 8 are 3 consecutive integers with a sum of 21. All right, so now it's time for your summary. Please write down, today I learned. What did you learn? What do you need to remember for the next test or quiz? And then one question you're still having. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Miss Johnson with Solving Equations.